Any thoughts on pedestrian safety?
Well, I'm here with my daughter Anastasia. She's almost 5 months old. She's certainly become my world now. She means a lot to me, and it's certainly frustrating to see a city council as negligent in the area of public safety, particularly pedestrian safety, as I see this one being. We have a city full of drivers who don't feel it's their responsibility to drive a safe speed in residential neighborhoods. They don't stop at crosswalks, they don't stop for stop signs, they don't give cyclists a fair amount of space. And it's not like we haven't had tragedies in this community before. Certainly as the father of a young girl, these kind of issues are certainly more important to me than they used to be. Yeah, you tell them all about it. You tell them why this is important. We don't have the enforcement in place to deal with these issues if we wanted to, and the fact is we're not dealing with it right now. I don't know if, I've never heard of a driver actually getting pulled over and ticketed or losing their license for not stopping for a crosswalk, yet near Falwell Elementary School we've had crossing guards who have had to jump out of the way of speeding drivers. Drivers in this community, they don't feel they need to stop for a crosswalk despite the fact that state law, and we need to enforce these laws, and we need to come down hard on the drivers that are violating these laws reoccurring. We need to take their license away from them. You know, like I said, we have had tragedies in this town. We've lost children, we've lost adults in this community, and the solutions are not really terribly difficult. You know, while we're on the topic too, let's talk about our trail system for bicycles too, because there's some really poorly thought out designs there. Look at West Circle Drive. You take half a bike trail, you put it on one side of a busy street, and you take the other half of the bike trail and you put it on the other side of the street. And you make a bunch of people, families, kids, cross in a busy street, an intersection where there's no light at all. This is absurd design. This shouldn't be controversial. It shouldn't take this long to fix. And you know, the really sad thing is we did have a tragedy there. You know, and the response of the city was to do absolutely nothing. I've talked to Marcia about this for years, and the reality is there's no desire on the city council to make the common sense improvements to our pedestrian system and our cycling system that just make it a lot safer for people. And as voters, we have to ask ourselves if this is okay. Is this a priority? And I think it's pretty universal. No, this is not acceptable. And it's not just a matter of the existing infrastructure that we have, because we're continuing to make bad design decisions. We're letting developers completely drive development in this community without any thoughts whatsoever to pedestrian safety, to walkable neighborhoods, to just getting around on a bike. As gasoline approaches $10 a gallon, the reality is we're going to have to do some other things. And you know, as long as I'm around, it's certainly something I'm going to be fighting for, and I've got good reason to. Some beautiful little girl deserves safe streets, and I'm not entirely sure she has them right now.